Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kurt, and today I'd like to welcome you back to Celestia. If you missed it, I already did a video on Celestia, kind of a more introductory video. I'll add a link in the video description if you'd like to see that if you missed it. But today, what I'm going to be concentrating on is, if you watched the last Minecraft video of mine, episode 30, I started talking about a bunch of space missions, and since I didn't have the information handy at the moment I was recording, I kind of made a bunch of stuff up that turned out to be completely wrong about the distances and time frames and things like that. So I'd like to rectify those errors by taking you on a tour of the solar system and showing you some of these missions I was talking about. Also, in episode 30 of my Minecraft adventures, I talked about in college how I designed a random music generator program as part of a project. And a few of you commented that you'd like to hear what kind of music that thing made. So in the background here, you might be able to hear, I've got that running. It's very ambient, I guess you could call it, very experimental. Since it was written by a computer, it's basically just a bunch of clicks and whistles and echoey effects. But it's kind of cool, I thought. So I'm playing that in the background here. It kind of goes along with the space theme, outer space galaxy travel sort of deal, but hopefully you enjoy that in the background. But right now we're starting off way outside the solar system at M57, which is a planetary nebula. It's actually something that's pretty easy to find in the night sky if you have even a pretty basic telescope and relatively dark skies. It's really cool looking, although through a telescope it's not quite this dramatic. It's a planetary nebula in that the star has died, much like our sun will in a few billion years, and has shed all of its gases, which is what creates the colorful ring here. And what's left inside is the white dwarf star, which is the dead star. Not the Death Star, just the dead star. So I thought this was kind of a colorful, cool thing to start with. But what we're going to do is go back to Earth. Okay, this is what Earth would look like from M57. Basically a whole bunch of nothing. We're going to travel through the Milky Way. Warp speed ahead, Captain. And we're at Earth. Hooray. Let me actually zoom out of Earth. We're not going to take that much time around Earth. The first thing I wanted to talk about, and the first thing I mentioned in the Minecraft video, was a spacecraft called Dawn. And Dawn is over here. You can see that red line is its orbit, where it started from Earth. Dawn was launched in 2007, and this July it's scheduled to enter orbit around Vesta, which is a very large asteroid in the asteroid belt, which, if we're looking, this is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. In between Mars and Jupiter, just to give you a sense of scale of the whole solar system here, in between Mars and Jupiter is the asteroid belt. And like I said, it's not really a tightly packed cloud of rocks that you have to dodge and, you know, pull a Han Solo by dodging different asteroids and rocks and things, but it's rather sparse. So that's how we're able to send this Dawn spacecraft to study these objects. Vesta, I incorrectly said that Vesta is so large that it contains 60% of the mass that's contained in the asteroid belt. That is incorrect by a few percent. It's actually only about 9%, which is still, considering that this one object takes up 9% of the mass of the entire asteroid belt. That's pretty cool to think about. But here we're looking at a model of the Dawn spacecraft. It's its big solar panels there. We're looking back at the sun here. So this is kind of cool. This isn't in the, if you were to just download Celestia and use it plain, you wouldn't be able to find a Dawn spacecraft like this. It's part of an add-on that there's a community called the Celestia Motherlode, where you can go and download all these add-ons and extra textures and spacecraft and things like that. I'll put a link in the description, as well as a link to download Celestia if you'd like to check it out yourself. But that's where I got this. It's kind of cool. Let me zoom out and maybe we can take a look at what Vesta looks like. I'm happy to say that I've actually been able to see Vesta through a telescope. Because it's so far away and so small, it doesn't appear much more than what we kind of see here. It just looks like another star, but if you look at it, say at the beginning of your observing session and then hours later, you'll notice that it does kind of shift in relation to the background stars, and that's how you can tell it's not a star and it's actually an object within the solar system. So let's head to Vesta here. Like I said, the Dawn spacecraft is going to reach Vesta this July. These textures are kind of just guesses, because right now we don't have much more than a few pixels from, say, the Hubble Space Telescope or ground-based telescopes of what Vesta actually looks like. We have no idea, really. So Dawn is going to give us our first view of Vesta, and then it's going to leave Vesta, and then in 2015 it will reach Ceres, which, if I zoom back out, Ceres is another large asteroid or dwarf planet in the asteroid belt. And let me zoom out and try to find Ceres here. Here it is. There's the orbit of Ceres. It's about halfway between Mars and Jupiter. So Dawn is going to hang out by Vesta, map the whole thing, and we're going to learn a lot about Vesta. Then it's going to head off to Ceres, and when it reaches Ceres, let me go to Ceres. I might have been thinking about Ceres when I was trying to think of the crazy number of how much mass Vesta takes up of the asteroid belt, because Ceres is actually so large that it takes up 32% of the belt's total mass, which is just bonkers to think about, because comparatively everything else in the asteroid belt is really quite small, little rocks, and you know, only about the size of a house, or you know. Whereas this is quite large and spherical too. It's almost like a planet. There's so much gravity here that it's becomes spherical. So it's really cool. I'm looking forward to 2015 to finding out what Ceres looks like. They're estimating that it might have liquid water on it or beneath its surface, for all we know, and we won't know until we get Dawn spacecraft out there. So that's going to be really cool to check out. So yes, there is Ceres. Let me zoom out again to give you another sense of scale as to where we're at. As you can see, this is actually the orbit of where the Dawn spacecraft is going to end up, but it's estimated at this point because there's course corrections and things. So the people who programmed the Dawn spacecraft in Celestia here don't have all the latest information. But we're going to zoom back out, and the other thing I talked about in my Minecraft video was New Horizons, which is another spacecraft. Where is it? Okay. New Horizons obviously started at Earth, and this one's going way out. As you can see, the red line here. New Horizons is actually going to check out Pluto for the first time. Pluto is another thing we haven't seen more than a few pixels of. So that'll be kind of cool. New Horizons, I originally said, and incorrectly said, it launched in 1997 or 2000 or something like that, which was completely incorrect. Let me pull up the page here just so I don't give any more incorrect information. New Horizons was actually launched in when was it launched? 2006. But even then, something that we launched from Earth in 2006 will not reach Pluto until 2015. So 2015 is a very exciting year for solar system exploration. We're going to find out what Ceres looks like, and we're also going to find out what Pluto looks like for the first time. Even so, New Horizons is, as far as I know, the fastest spacecraft we've ever sent out in terms of its relation to the Sun and where it's traveling. It's traveling at 36,000 miles per hour relative to the position of the Sun. So that's really quite fast, and even at that speed, it's going to take a long time to reach Pluto. So let's zoom into New Horizons. Before we do, I did want to show that I also incorrectly, another incorrect fact from yesterday, or the Minecraft episode, is I recently said that it just passed Neptune's orbit. Not true. It just passed a few months ago the orbit of Uranus. It's going to pass Neptune's orbit in 2015 also. So this is quite a distance we're talking about. I mean, when we're looking at the solar system here, I'm so far zoomed out that we can't even see the orbit of Earth and Mars and Venus and things like that. So the mind, it boggles. Let me check out New Horizons. This is another add-on that I added from the Celestia community. This one's kind of cool. It's very accurate. New Horizons doesn't have solar panels because it's so far away from the sun it wouldn't be really useful. But it does have a nuclear power source, so that's what keeps it alive. And let me see if I can find Pluto on this. New Horizons. Let me zoom out. Zoom out. There's a lot of scrolling involved in zooming in and out in this program. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Now we're starting to exponentially speed up here. Come on. Come on. Zoom, 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 zoom. Pluto. So yes, there's New Horizons. It's going to meet up with Pluto, which is actually kind of a binary system because it has a moon called Charon, something or other. It actually has a couple more companions, but these two are actually quite similar in size in terms of Pluto and Charon, whatever. Once again, this is an approximation of what we might think Pluto looks like, since we haven't ever gotten a close-up view. But that's what that is. And actually, we can zoom out here. What am I doing? I'm looking at the orbits. There's the orbit of Pluto. And I can actually, in this program, you can fast forward and rewind time. So what I'm going to try to do, if I can ever get zoomed out enough here, is fast forward to when, to show, where's New Horizons, to show when New Horizons gets closer to Pluto. So let me think of the shortcut here. Yes, frame rate, we're going 100,000 times, 1,000,000 times, and even faster. And as you can see, May 2012, 2013, 2014 in the upper right hand corner is the date, and then 2015 is when, let me slow down again, New Horizons will meet with, and it's not going to enter into orbit around Pluto and Charon. It's just going to do a flyby, so we're going to have one chance to get some good pictures and send them back to Earth. And then New Horizons is just going to continue on, and they're going to think of something else to study with New Horizons. But so yeah, that's kind of cool part of this program is you can fast forward and rewind time. Another thing I added on here was Voyagers 1 and 2. Let's see. So yeah, you can see how far away Voyager 2 is. I have that Wikipedia page open also. Voyager 2 is... Come on, where is the distance statistic here? Is... dang it, I had this up. It's about... here we go. 8.8 billion, B as in billion, miles away from the Earth, which is actually about 95 times the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So make that trip 95 times, and that's how far away Voyager is. Let's check out Voyager in Celestia here. And Voyager was launched in 77, so it's been traveling. We're still in communications with Voyager. Still sending us information back. Right now it's flirting with the edge of the kind of what the solar wind has influence on between us and the galactic, I guess, void between where the sun has influence and when it ends up going outside of the sun's influence. Okay, I'm not going to make up facts anymore, so I'm just going to shut up. But yeah, this is kind of a cool little model of Voyager. It even has the golden record there with the famous inscriptions that they came up with to communicate with any extraterrestrial intelligence if it ever were to come across that. Completely and highly improbable and impossible, but that's kind of cool, little piece of humanity heading off into the stars. But yeah, those are basically the thing about the Dawn spacecraft and the New Horizons spacecraft are the facts I wanted to correct. Because while I'm playing Minecraft, I don't go back and check the facts, and I end up just shooting my mouth off, and then I end up being completely incorrect, and people chastise me in the video comments. So yes, that's where that stands. If you do want to see any more things in Celestia, I will be adding links on how you can download it if you want to check it out. But if you want to see me make more videos, certainly let me know in the comments or by liking this video. That always helps. And I'll be sure to answer the comments or make another video answering some comments if you come up with them. So please do that. Let me check out the space station while we're at it. Let me get it into the sunlight. There we go. So, in closing, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the music in the background. Kind of crazy, huh? And I will be back soon with more video game footage. I know Notch is working on updating Minecraft because there's a bunch of bugs. So I'm going to put off playing Minecraft until he gets those figured out, because I don't want to have any of those impact our Farlands expedition. That would be terrible. But yeah, we'll get back to that. I'll get back to playing some other video games that might be enjoyable. And yeah, that's where that stands. So, from the International Space Station, 300 kilometers in space, this is Kurt signing off. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.